Senior Moments, sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group on News Talk KVNU, 102 FM and 610 AM.
Good morning and welcome to the Senior Moment Show. My name is Bruce Lee. I am here with my co-host, Sid Roeder. Good morning, Sid.
Good morning, Bruce.
It is good to be back.
It is. You've been gone.
I've been gone. I was
missed
away.
You.
We'll maybe do a show about that. I went to Guatemala and did some things
let's do that. Let's do that next week.
So that's a teaser that might be coming up in the next few weeks. We'll see about that. But today, more importantly, we have someone very important with us today. His name is David Zook, and he is the Cache County Executive. Welcome, David.
Thanks, Bruce and Sid. It's great to be here with you.
Really glad to have you. Before we learn a little bit more about David and what he does for our wonderful county, let's find out about our sponsor, Sid.
Absolutely. Our sponsor is the Empowering Seniors Group, which is a group of professionals that has dedicated their time and effort to provide information to seniors, their family members, and really anybody who cares. If you would like to learn more about the Empowering Seniors Group, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info, or you can email us at empoweringseniorscv@gmail.com. Speak clearly, and the CV stands for Cache Valley. And or lastly, you can give me a call personally at 435-512-6406.
That's awesome. And if you didn't understand anything that she said and you got the phone number, that'll work, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Well, again, welcome, David, our Cache County Executive, and we're going to learn about what that is here in just a second. But before we do that, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you come from and why you're here?
Thanks, Bruce. Yeah, I'd love to take a minute and introduce myself. I am the county executive, as you mentioned, and just been doing that since the first of this year. I got elected in January and serving in that role for the county. Before that, I worked for Nibley City for almost a decade. I was their city manager, so running the day-to-day operations of the city there, and I actually worked in county government for about 15 years before that. And so this has kind of been my career of a master's degree in public administration. And I love public service. I love serving my community, being involved in my community. And my wife and I live here in Logan, and spent most of my time here in the Valley in Hyde Park. But the kids are getting older now. I have 7 kids, and they range in age from 25 down to 13. So the 4 boys are still at home. They're the teenagers, and they're keeping us busy, definitely. So that's a little bit of my background. Now I'm county executive, as you mentioned, and that's a great opportunity I have to be involved. I'm really humbled that I was chosen by the voters to be able to serve in that position, and I've been having a great time over the last 5 months now, serving in that role. And I can tell you, maybe you want to hear about some of the things I've been up to, or what do you want to know about it?
Absolutely. I mean, I've been following you on Facebook, and I do say I appreciate that you post what you're doing and makes it a little bit more transparent on what goes on. So yes, let's talk a little bit about what you get to do.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning Facebook. Yeah, I guess if anybody wants to follow me, they can just send me a friend request. I just use my personal page mostly, David Zook, Z-O-O-K, and I try to put something on there every day. My first few months, I just was so busy, I hardly even thought about it. But then I realized I need to make sure I'm keeping the public informed on what I'm doing. I thought, this is a really easy way. I can just post something really quick every day about one of the things I did that day. I guess I'll give you a stat. My first 100 days, I looked at what I'd been doing so far. I counted up how many meetings I went to. I went to an average of 6 meetings per day in the first 100 days.
That sounds terrible.
So, 600 meetings. Meeting with community leaders, meeting with department heads, meeting with staff, a number of meetings that I have to attend as part of my job. And maybe I could talk a little bit about that, about what a county executive is, what a county executive does.
Yeah, I think that's you'll maybe start with the form of government we have.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Just for some of you might be wondering, what exactly is that? How does it work?
Yeah, it's very similar to the form of government that we see in most of our cities. And most of the counties throughout the state actually have a county commission. And we used to have that here years ago, where you have 3 commissioners. And those 3 commissioners would be a combined executive and legislative branch. But the leaders here many years ago decided that we were going to change to a council executive form. So we have a council of 7 people. They're the legislative branch. They make the laws for our county. And then we have the executive branch, which is me. I'm the county executive. It's analogous to a mayor, similar to what a mayor does for a city. It's actually similar to a combined city manager and mayor position. So there are only actually 2 people who have my position in the state. One is me, and one is the Salt Lake County mayor. So those are the only 2 counties that have this exact form of government. And they just decided there from day one, when they created this form of government there, when they implemented it, that they were going to call that county executive the county mayor, because it's just easier for people to understand and know what that means.
So tell me the difference between county government and city government. So how do you overlap, and what's distinct?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for about 5,000 people in the county, I am their city. They don't have a city. They don't live in a city. So I am their mayor. I'm their only mayor because they live in the unincorporated areas. But then most of our citizens actually live in cities. We have probably about 130,000 people who live in cities, from Logan, the biggest city, to the smaller cities out on the outskirts. All of those cities are responsible for municipal services for those residents. So everything from public safety, like police and fire services, to dealing with their roads, their parks, their water system, their wastewater in many cases. And sometimes they even go into doing recreation programs, things like that. The county is different. The county can provide those services to those residents we have in the unincorporated areas. And in some of the cases, we provide that service for everybody, like the sheriff's office, for example, is part of the county organization. That's actually about half of our employees are sheriff's department employees, sheriff's office employees. And we provide that service. We also take care of the roads in the unincorporated areas. We oversee development in the unincorporated areas. So we have some things where we're doing the same kind of thing the cities do, but then we have a whole variety of other services we provide that cities don't get involved in at all, like the tax assessor. We have an elected assessor or property assessor who assesses property to determine how valuable it is, to determine how much your taxes are. Then we have a tax collector, our treasurer tax collector. We have a recorder that keeps track of land records. So we have a variety of services like that are unique from cities.
Thank you, David. I feel like we need to start taking notes. That's very elaborate. We're heading out in our first break now, but after that, I'd really like to find out what are some of those meetings that you get to attend. But we're going to take a little break. Again, we are sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group. If you'd like to learn more about them, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info. We'll be right back.
This is Mark Thurston with White Pine Funeral Services. The best time to plan is when you have time to plan. Having a pre-arranged funeral gives peace of mind for everyone involved. White Pine will customize your final wishes to fit your needs, from a traditional burial to cremation to a custom headstone. White Pine also accepts pre-arranged plans from other mortuaries, and we will absorb any transfer or revocation fees. No penalty to you. Visit whitepinefunerals.com or come and see us for more information.
White Pine Funeral Services, here when you need us most.
Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram offers free delivery service 5 days a week, Monday through Friday throughout the valley. Just stay home and they will deliver to you. With 25 different suppliers, they won't have the shortage that others might have. Also, with compounding and many other services, they will be able to serve all your needs. In order to stay safe and help slow the spread, please call Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram at 245-DRUG and they will take care of you.
Hi, this is Bruce with Comfort Care. One of the ways we help loved ones stay in their home is by assisting with daily tasks. These may include bathing, meal preparation, medication reminders, and housekeeping. We even help with shopping, transportation, and errands. Most of all, we offer a trusted level of care. Let us help you live your best life possible with Comfort Care. This is Bruce, and you can call me at 754-7676. Comfort Care, 754-7676.
Oh, it seems like yesterday I was playing with my kids on the playground.
Seems like yesterday I was building a treehouse in the backyard.
Time goes by too fast, but there is something you can do to ensure you're taken care of down the road. I'm Tracy Ferris with Quality First Insurance. A long-term care insurance policy is something we all need as we get older. If you wait until you need it, you're too late. Let me help you understand the options and benefits of long-term care insurance. Call me today, 435-752-0101.
Whether you have a small business, large corporation, or sole proprietorship, remember Cook Martin Polson has provided quality accounting services since 1977. At Cook Martin Polson, they believe you've earned it, and they're going to help you keep it. Take a minute right now to call 750-5566. That's 750-5566 to set up your tax appointment and let Cook Martin Polson show you how to keep the money you have earned.
This is Jared Ripplinger with Cook Martin Polson. You've worked hard for your money. Let us help you keep it.
Welcome back to the Senior Moment Show. If you're just joining us today, we're visiting with David Zook. He's the Cache County Executive. It's kind of a fun show for us to do. We've got, I'm Bruce Lee, Sid Roeder is my co-host, and we're having a conversation about what goes on in county government. And maybe there's some people out there who don't know the difference between county leadership and city leadership. We've talked about some of those things. David, why don't you give us an idea of what a day looks like for the county executive?
Yeah, that's a great question. Meetings, meetings, and more meetings. We have. It's kind of interesting because when I ran for this office, I thought I'm going to go and run the county organization, and I thought I can do that. I've done that kind of thing before. That's my background, my education, my experience. I can do that. And I thought it's a big job to run an organization like that with a $70 million budget and 400 employees. But then when I got into the job, I realized it's way more than that, because if somebody would have told me, oh yeah, you get to do that, but you only get like maybe 12 hours a week to run the organization, and the other rest of that time you're going to be in meetings, I might have thought twice. But so I serve as part of my role. I serve on about 24 different boards and committees. So that includes things like the airport board, or the health department board, or the Chamber of Commerce board. We have a couple of transportation committee boards. So a whole variety of different boards that I'm involved in, from everything from economic development to public safety. And it's really busy, but I actually love it because it gives me an opportunity to make sure that our citizens are represented when decisions are being made.
So it sounds to me a little bit like you might be the most educated person in the Valley with the going-ons. Can I say that?
Maybe informed. Yeah. So I do get to go to a lot of meetings and find out about things that are going on. I'm involved in the decision-making process. I get to decide on behalf of our Cache County residents. I get to vote on all of these boards on where we're going to spend the road money, or what's going to happen at the airport, or what priorities, what happens with the health department, Bear River Mental Health. I'm on that one as well. So there are a lot of different things that I'm involved in, everything from social services to public safety to public works. It's a little bit of everything, but I love that. That's actually something I really enjoy about the job, because there's so much variety.
I was just going to ask a question like that. I'm just thinking about, I know you have had previous experience doing some things this way. I'm just curious what your favorite thing is about this type of work.
That's a great question. I don't know. That's kind of hard to think about my favorite thing. My favorite thing really is helping people. That's what I love. And I've served in different roles over the years, and in some of them I've been directly helping people one-on-one. And in some of them, I've been a little more removed, more of a leadership role, where I'm overseeing other people who are providing the one-on-one assistance. But that's always what I've loved the most, is when I can give one-on-one help to somebody. Somebody comes, they have a problem, and we have to figure out how to fix it, how to solve it. I've been working on some stuff like that this week, actually, helping people with water. We have this drought we've been dealing with, and been helping some people figure out some issues with wells and getting water available to them.
So I'm going to ride that wave a little bit because you've been in that position for over 6 months now. Highlights. What have been your most favorite highlights so far? Well,
I would say the fact that I've gotten to actually accomplish some things already, and there are some things that I didn't think we were going to have to deal with yet that we've already had to deal with. When I ran for office, one of the promises I made to the voters was, I'm going to stand up and protect our transportation dollars from the people in Salt Lake if they want to take our money. And because I've been hearing about that. I've been hearing that we've never gotten our fair share up here in Salt Lake, and everybody on the Wasatch. When I say Salt Lake, I mean everyone on the Wasatch Front, that they get more than their share. So that's one of the promises I made. I said, if they come and try to take our share of the money, I'm going to stand up and fight for it. That happened within the first couple months of me being in office, that there was all this transportation money available, and guess who wasn't going to get any? We weren't on the list to get any. The biggest transportation bill the state legislature's ever done, there was supposed to be money going to everybody. We actually had a great project on the list to fix Main Street, and it was over $100 million that we wanted for that project. And we weren't on the list, even though we were the 8th ranked project in the entire state out of about 100 projects. We weren't on the list. We were being cut out of the funding. And so I stood up for Cache County. I went to the governor's office. I went to UDOT. I went to the Transportation Commission, and we're on the list now. We've got that $100 million coming our way because we stood up, and it was a group effort. We had our local legislators, our mayors, a lot of staff, people involved. We had to work together to get it done, but we got it done. So those are the kinds of things that are exciting and fun and fulfilling when we actually get to make a change, make a difference, and stand up for our community.
That's awesome. I'm wondering about people in the community who might want to either become involved working with the county or have questions about the county. What's the best way for them to interact with county government?
That's a really good question, Bruce. I think one of the most important things people can do to be involved is to just be watching what's going on. They can go to the public meeting notice website and subscribe and find out about all of the meetings we have, all these various boards and committees. You can actually get an email that'll tell you when the county council meeting is happening and what's on the agenda. We broadcast those meetings. They can watch them from home if they want to. Our website, this is one of the big projects we're working on right now. We're going to totally redo our website so that people can find the information they need. That'll actually be there for them to find. That'll be mobile friendly. They can look up stuff on their phone. So cachecounty.org has a lot of information now, but it's going to get even better. Of course, they can always call us too. My office number is 755-1850, 755-1850.
Wonderful, David. I guess I kind of appreciate that modern technology and maybe even COVID has brought some things that have made it easier for the citizens to keep an eye on the going-ons here, and I appreciate you posting on Facebook. We're already coming up to our second break here. Again, we are sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group. If you would like to learn more about the Empowering Seniors Group, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info. You can also email us at empoweringseniors.cv@gmail.com, and the CV stands for Cache Valley. And if you have any suggestions for this show, anyone you would like to have us invite, give me a call personally at 435-512-6406. Taking a little break. We'll be right back.
If you're retired or plan to retire soon, will you outlive your money or will your money outlive you? If you don't know the answer, I can help. Hi, I'm Patty Bartholomew, a financial consultant with Parsonex Securities. If you have questions about your financial plan or just need a second opinion, call me today at 435-227-5556.
Investments are not FDIC insured, nor are they deposits of or guaranteed by a bank or any other entity, so they may lose value. Investors should carefully consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the funds. This and other important information is contained in each fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, which can be obtained from a financial professional and should be read carefully before investing. Securities offered offered through Parsonex Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC, 8310 South Valley Highway, Suite 110, Inglewood, Colorado, 80112-303-662-8700.
This is Brian Erickson for the Sunshine Minute. Each day, our nurses, CNAs, cooks and servers, housekeepers, laundry staff, music, recreation therapy teams, office staff, receptionists, and many more arrive around the clock. These heroes show up ready and willing to serve and protect our residents and clients. We are so grateful to our dedicated team. On behalf of the Board of Sunshine Terrace Foundation and our community, thank you to all of our employees for keeping us safe. We bring more to life together.
Want an inexperienced surgeon?
Okay, nurse, I'm ready for the scalpel.
How about an inexperienced airline pilot?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain, and I'm terrified.
Experience matters, and we have it.
Hi, this is Sid Roeder with Achievement Realty. I am a senior real estate specialist.
I'd love to meet with you face-to-face and give you a free consultation and market analysis. Call me today at 512-6406. Then list it, sell it, and move on.
When it comes to successful aging, eating well matters. Staying physically active matters. Getting socially engaged matters. Living alone, aging alone, it's harder to consistently do that. Hi, this is Chris Grohl with Pioneer Valley Lodge, where we make it easier to do those things every day. Our mission at Pioneer Valley Lodge in North Logan is to help seniors live better, age more gracefully, and stay independent for as long as possible. Pioneer Valley Lodge, an independent living community for seniors.
Welcome back to the Senior Moment Show. If you're just joining us today, we're here with David Zook. He is the Cache County Executive, and we've been talking about things going on in the county and his job and learning about what he does. David, going forward at this point, what are the things that you're looking at that you think need your focus?
I have several things I'm working on as priorities. And when I started in office earlier this year, I thought, you know what, the number one priority of local government is public safety. That's the number one thing we should be focusing on, is making sure our residents are safe. We are blessed to live in a very safe community. Our sheriff's office, our local police departments, they do a great job keeping us safe. We have a county fire department that I oversee, and I don't know how many people realize this, but our whole ambulance system in the valley here ceased to exist December 31st of last year and had to be basically reinvented the first part of this year. So the Cache County Fire Department took on part of that, and we are providing ambulance service to the whole south end of the county, and they're doing a great job. They've increased the level of service. We have paramedics on all the ambulances down there now, which wasn't the case before. We've upgraded the skills of the EMTs who are there, and we have more ambulances now than we did before. So that's one that I've been working on, is public safety. And we're going to be building a new animal shelter too, is another piece of that. Roads, we talked a little bit in the last segment about roads. That is definitely a priority. Our community's growing. We're exploding. We've got so many people moving here, and we need to make sure that our road infrastructure is keeping up with that growth. If it doesn't, the traffic's only going to get worse. I want to get in front of that. I want to take care of that. So I'm working on, I've already worked on about a dozen different priorities related to that. We could do a whole nother segment just about roads and what we've been doing there. Economic development is one. Bruce and Sid, both of you've actually worked with me over the years on some things, and the two of you helped me to found our Cache Valley Economic Development Alliance here a few years ago. So that's important to me too, because our economy is really strong right now. We have lots of jobs, but we're supposed to add another 100,000 people to our valley in coming decades. What I want to make sure is that we add another 100,000 jobs also, and that people have a place to work here. They don't have to drive down to Salt Lake or Ogden or somewhere to work. We want to make sure we have the jobs here for them. So economic development is going to continue to be one of my priority areas. And then open space preservation is a big one. I talked about that growth. Where are all these people going to go? They're going to go somewhere. If we're not intentional about that, if we don't plan right, then all of the beautiful spaces that make Cache Valley such a beautiful place, they're going to get gobbled up and they'll be gone forever. So we need to be smart about that. We need to work together with the cities, the county, and make sure that we plan appropriately and that we preserve the special places in our valley that we want to keep open. And then another one of my priorities is improving the organization. I mentioned earlier, I'm the CEO of the county organization. That's one of my primary functions, is to run that organization. So we're using tax dollars to do that. I want to make sure we're doing that as efficiently as possible. If we're going to be responsible for those tax dollars and that's what we're using to run our organization, then we better be good stewards of that money. We better be efficient. We better provide good customer service, and we better have good technology. We better be doing things the best we can do. So that's something I'm doing. Is we're doing an audit department by department. We hired some internal auditors who are going through department by department and looking at those. I volunteered my office to be the first one audited. So they're almost done with my audit. They're going to be reporting that fairly soon, probably in the coming weeks. And we're going to do everything we can to make each of those departments as efficient as it can be. And then the last priority, I mentioned 5 so far. My 6th one that I've been working on, which initially was not one of my priorities, but has become a priority, is helping our nonprofit organizations here in the Valley to be more successful. I've already met with like 24 nonprofit organizations. Most of them came and reached out to me because they need help with various things. But we have such great organizations here in the Valley, and they do incredible work. So I'm doing all I can to help them be as successful as they can be, because if they're going to provide those services, that means that's stuff that the government doesn't have to do. Nonprofits are way more efficient than the government. If they're going to provide those services, they're going to do a better job, more efficiently, and they're going to really make our community the best it can be. And that's actually one of the pieces of that priority is I've been encouraging people to get out and serve. We're coming out of this pandemic now. People want to get out and reconnect. I think one of the best ways people can get out and reconnect is find a place to go serve. Find an organization that you support, that you think has a good mission. Go find out how you can help them. Can you volunteer? Maybe it's just donating some money. Maybe it's donating time. Maybe it's finding something they need help with that you have expertise in. Maybe it's just helping them with an event, but find a way to get out there and help the community. Find a way that you can serve, find a way you can give back, and that's what really makes our community great.
Thank you, David. We're almost at the end of our show. We got 1 minute left, so I'm going to ask you one last question here, David. Any hot topics coming up that you're going to tackle here?
I would say the biggest thing that we're working on right now is our economy. The housing crisis, we've got housing prices just going through the roof and not enough places for people to live. And then another piece of the economy is the workforce. There are not enough workers for our businesses to grow. So those are 2 things I'm working on right now.
Thank you so much, David, for coming in. Again, we were visiting today with David Zook. He is the Cache County Executive, giving us a really good education today on what goes on in Cache Valley. Thank you so much, David. Again, we're at the end of our show. Our sponsor is the Empowering Seniors Group. If you would like to learn more about the Empowering Seniors, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info. And we hope you tune in again next week.